We just...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Can you hear me okay?
recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But,
it's not you, it's us.
But
Yeah.
so we scrapped idea number one, and then we had another 2 homework sessions. So we're doing our homework as well, hopefully.
Oh, sure are.
And so we've come up with 3 things today, and they all kind of they all relate to stuff we've already done, like especially Cagford. Like I'm getting used to saying Cagford as well. Cagford, it sounds like some horrible cake or something.
Yes.
But like even at the very least, if you just know 3 different shapes up the neck, and then gradually, say I'm just playing that shape that I think everyone knows that shape. Gradually, if you just learn a few little additions to those 3 notes, so you got 3 notes. So even if you're just adding in 1 note, or you've just got a little kind of trick for each one, and eventually the idea is, and kind of today we're heading towards that, where you learn the whole scale that is supported by that Cagford chord. Or that chord shape. So where that chord shape is, there's a scale. Just all the scale is just a couple of little extra notes between the chord tones. It's scales are no big deal. And I think what Jane and I were trying to do the other day is work out positions all over the neck where you could do every scale, and it just was this mess. And to be honest, you never use scales like in that kind of, as if you're like a classical violinist in like most, you kind of really, chord forms they're the thing that really help you, but the more you can add to them, the better.
And that's why when I introduced this, and I didn't plan it, but I think it's useful. Serendipitous. That the whole thing about the caged, which is what it's called on a guitar, and the relationship between the caged, or on ukulele it's Cagford, and the word box. I mean, they're similar words, and they're describing similar things, like you just confirmed, aren't they? So
yeah,
you use the box, which you'll see on the chord progression sheet that you've got there, where it says in the box, which is what Beck asked for today when she visited with Jane. That relationship, I think if you look at that, you go, well, where are the chord notes in there, and where are the additional notes? And so it's a really good shortcut, I think, for people to, like, how do you think about it? Do you think about it as a scale, a boxed up scale, or do you think of it as a chord shape? And so they just feed each other.
Yeah. And I reckon if you think of the chord, it's kind of easier because there's only 3 notes in a chord. There's always, whichever shape you play, you're always going to be kind of doing 2 of 1 note because of but so, then eventually you learn the kind of major scale, so you're filling in notes, even, I guess the first step is the pentatonic, that's only 2 extra notes. And then, when you've been playing for a long time, each shape, you've got little go-to little tricks, like in that shape. So that they're all my tricks for that shape kind of thing. And then up here you might have, that's your trick. So, that's the idea, but rather than kind of just thinking of scales, those chord shapes they're your friends to lean on, help you. And we're going to do a few things with those chords today.
I think the C open C and that shape as it moves up is probably the easiest one to think of it being a scale, at least on the ukulele, because it is a C. So yeah.
Has anyone got any kind of questions or queries about any of that rubbish? Because everyone knows a few chords up the neck, don't they? It's like, we've done.
Yes, but unfortunately, we're not doing any of the easy shapes.
Yeah.
Well, Well, it's not true actually, but we are looking at a few more interesting shapes on purpose to teach you something, to teach you some new shapes that you will become familiar with.
Are you saying that everything that I just said is like?
Well, the groovy shapes often they're no harder to play than the not so groovy shapes. So I mean, not always, but yeah, we've definitely got some new shapes for users.
Do you want to start with your Mac the Knife?
Yeah, should we do
I think it's the, can you pass me the...
So there's one called Chord Riffs Mac the Knife.
Chord Riffs Mac the Knife.
And sorry to keep hammering Mac the Knife, but it's just a good tune to demonstrate lots of different things too. You can probably do a whole year.
But you keep drilling down, like you're using the same resource, but you keep drilling further down.
Different things, yeah. And I think if you know the song, then it's kind of, it makes it easy to add things to. So the idea for this came, actually, you can blame Janine, because I think she put a comment on, maybe it was something that I put on the Facebook. She said, I'd be interested to know what chord voicings you're using or something, or what chords you'd use. So then I thought about it, went, well, okay, well, here goes. I'll write some down. But also I wanted to kind of combine it with a riff kind of thing. Well, I'm just going to play what I've got, then we'll do it all together, but we might just start with one note and then build it up to a whole chord. So basically it's just like I'll play it without the backing track, but it's just 2, 3, 4, 1. So it's kind of like a little... Thanks, Mark. It's kind of like a little chord phrase that, it's something you could either use if you're just playing rhythm and someone else is soloing and you're just kind of accompanying, or it's something you could base a solo around as well. It's kind of, but rather than just strumming a simple rhythm the whole way through. But also, I'm just using 2 different shapes, which kind of gives it a bit of a melody line. So what I was thinking is the first time through, if anyone wants to play all the chords, but the first time through we could just play that top note of the tab. So first time through we could just go 1. Does that make sense? So we just kind of, and it's basically the same as that until you get to the diminished chord, then it's... You go to the 6th fret. But shall I try it with a backing track? What do you think? See.
I'm lost here. What are we looking at?
So are you looking?
So
have you got the chord riffs?
Chord riffs, Smack the Knife.
And I think.
But it's the second part of the sheet, not the first part.
Yeah, the second part, not set 1, set 2, but what says Mac the
Knife.
Yeah,
where it just says Mac the Knife, it's kind of halfway down, yeah.
And also, I think we need it slower than the backing track. That's the only.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When I do that, it comes up with about blank block. So
okay, you need to refresh your page because this page wasn't working earlier today.
I didn't get it either. I'm trying to have a look at it now.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Trish told me at about 4 today that I had a bad link, so I refreshed it maybe at about 5 or something. Trish, was it? So it's
just chord riffs.
Chord riffs, Smack the Knife is what it's called.
Yeah. So we've got the chords all up the front, set 1 and set 2. We'll get to those in a sec, but just to kind of get the feeling of the rhythm of it, we'll just do that. Yeah,
is it working now for people? Got it okay? Bronwyn, have you got it?
So yeah, anyone who wants to try all the chords, great, but I reckon first time through we'll just go for the top note. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to go 1. So we'll just do that. So
I can do it with the backing track.
sorry.
In that case, we can do it with the backing
Yeah.
track.
So one note. Let's do
Yeah,
one note with
sorry,
the backing
sorry.
track. That's right. That'd be good. All right. Let's have a go. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's fast. We'll do it a few times. Six. 4 to the top. 6 fret coming up. One more time for good luck. Sixth fret coming up. Oh, that's it. God, it's faster than I thought, than I remember. Did that go okay for everyone though? So that's kind of we can think of it in two ways. Like we can pretend that's our melody, and now we're going to harmonize the melody or do like a chord melody version of that riff. So let's actually just go up to the top of the page. Let's just look at, so kind of what we need for this kind of thing is you want two different sets of chords, or like you want two versions of each chord, so you can kind of alternate between them. So let's just go through each of those. So we'll go to set 1. So we've got this C6 chord that actually sounds more like a A minor 7 chord that Jane pointed out. Got that all good? Then we've got D minor 7.
Sam, what's your suggested fingering, particularly for that C6?
Oh, for C6, yeah. On the lower string, 1, and then 4th finger, 1, 4, 2, 3.
So you don't flatten a finger just for that 3/3.
You could, but yeah, I tend to, for some reason, I'll just play it, yeah. And then the D minor 7.
Does anybody need that up closer to the screen at all? No, we're okay.
I can zoom in my fingers a bit if you want. Ooh. D minor 7. Silly old G7 that everyone knows. And then if you want to make it a G7 sus. And then A minor 7, which is exactly the same as the C6. And the A diminished. And the thing about all those chords is they've all got the same top note, which is, so I've kind of chosen them just because they've all got the C notes at the top of all of them, apart from the G7. That's why I've put in the G7 sus as well. So that's going to give us that static kind of melody. The next lot. Let's start with, so the next lot's kind of all, it's like the next inversion up. So let's start with the C6, and this is one of the best chords around, I reckon. 5, 7, 5, 7. That's just a great sounding even on a high string or low string. Just that's a great chord.
I have noticed over the years, Sam, particularly when you're playing in Hawaii, that and even chemo, like people always seem to use that -7 shape.
That one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's just so good, isn't it? It's just kind of perfectly balanced. Just
Sonically, you mean, sort of thing.
yeah, and it's just and even kind of symmetrical, isn't it too? But
Yes, it is. So it's relatively
yeah.
easy to remember.
But yeah, that's a real winner, that chord. The D-7 is easy as that's just a big slab. And then G7. I've got 3 variations of the G7 just because. So I'm not a huge fan of that G7. It's just kind of a bit. I tend to use the G9, which is the second one. If you remember those blues tunes we did in the beginning, was using that shape, and instead of that one, I was put in that ninth. Just I don't know, it just sounds better. And a ninth is just it's just a bit of an upgrade on a seventh. So in jazzy tunes, they're completely interchangeable. But then the next upgrade is the 13, which is great. That's a great kind of, and that gives us that melody on the 7th fret. So kind of, I'm cherry picking the chords out of that second set. I'm going for the ones that have the melody on the 7th fret. That's why. So you get that kind of, not rather like when the top note changes, it's kind of distracting, but that's this is what we're wanting, the kind of same high note.
Just to be distracting, yeah. I really like fiddling around with this, which is it's like the chord progression from Isn't She Lovely? So you're just dropping this finger, like. So that when you're dropping stuff in the low portions of your uke, that it's nice to keep that high stuff like you were saying, and then the low stuff carries the movement, I suppose.
Exactly, and it's just good to have sets of chords that are really, like if you're just backing someone who's singing, it's rather than going it's really distracting. If you can play really nice chords but just change as few notes as possible, it's a really smooth kind of lush sound. So that's why these ones are kind of good. They rather than going there might be times when you want that as well, but sorry,
you might leave that busyness for the solo.
Yeah, that's right. We just want to have choices, and there's times when we want the chords just to kind of be like a string pad in the background, and then there's times when you want them to kind of leap out. But so this has got a little bit of both. So let's just have a look at the first 2 bars. So it's like 2, 3, 4, 1. And you can do a little bit of a slide on that high C. Should we all just play that first one together? And if you can't get all your fingers there, just get as many as you can to that second chord, because it's a bit of a fistful. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 4, 1. 4, 1. 4, 1. How's that feeling? Okay. Should we try the next one? So our top note's exactly the same. So 3rd fret to the 7th. So 1 from the D-7, 2, 3, 4, 1. 4, 1. 4, 1. 4, 1. They okay? Should we just try that first 4 bars? Tell me if I'm going too fast.
Yes. Okay. So, Jane's not able to help me.
Actually,
hang it. You tried. I'm lost. Now that doesn't particularly matter. But if I say I'm lost, is everybody else okay with it? Everybody. There's no.
No, I can't find it.
Oh,
Okay. Right,
Right,
Di.
so good.
What, you can't find what, Di?
I can't find the chord, Mac the Knife chord chart.
probably.
Chords riff.
Oh, you haven't.
chord riffs.
Right. So you haven't actually got the.
No, where's that?
Oh,
It's on the website, Di.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking on the website. Okay.
Have you
Diane,
refreshed it? Because Jane had
Refresh
to.
the page. I had to reload the document.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I wonder if I can put it in the. Oh,
No, don't worry. It's there.
Alright, yeah.
I know it's there.
poor Diane. Sorry.
It's all right, don't
Could have
worry.
told Mark
Actually,
earlier.
Di,
Yeah.
could you, actually, Di, could you speak up earlier? Because we're now like almost at the end of this sheet, not at the
No,
beginning.
that's okay. I was looking for it, but don't worry.
Oh,
It's okay.
that's a
You
shame.
should speak up, okay?
Okay, all right, we'll do.
We need a special little sign that says "I haven't got the sheet." Like a.
Yeah. So what is
But yeah. Anyone?
I'm having trouble getting around
Duh.
to 3342.
No, actually,
You having trouble changing shapes?
No, just the start of 3342. I just
Oh,
can't
okay.
I think it's a very not nice chord if you don't like your pinky. I've been cheating, Alistair, and I'm just playing my top 3 strings, the highest 3 strings.
Yeah.
I'm skipping out the.
Cheat if you have to.
Yeah, same. Can't do that one.
But really, the C6, the one down the bottom. Is it the pinky?
I have no.
It's
I have
the
no
index
sympathy
finger,
for
getting the
people.
index finger on.
The
Index.
I'm just wondering if yeah, as Jane said, flattening those two. The other thing, just for the time being, is to just leave out the low, like just leave out one note. Like you can. It's funny because the second shape's like it's more stretchy, but is everyone finding the second shape okay? The 7-5-7-5.
I'm okay. I think I just understood it. Now I'm not doing this to be abstract. So you're doing C6 from set 1, and then
Yeah.
for that, when you go to the 7 note, you're
last one.
swapping to the set 2
Yeah,
version.
yeah. So
Did
on all of
everybody
these,
else
we just-
understand that?
Aren't
just
we
reading what
doing
was on
down
the
the
page.
bottom, Mac the Knife?
No. We've got
Right.
yes.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like-
now we're up at set 1 and set 2.
No, we were, but then we dropped to the bottom when we're doing
Well-
that rhythm.
No, can
Yeah,
I
that's
just say
right.
something? What we're
Oh, I
doing?
can see it now.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. You're
But
right,
we are-
Kathy.
you're right.
You're right, Kathy.
Ooh, you explained it wrongly to me. But it was still right. It was still right. It's another way. So it's the 2 C6. You play the C6 in that rhythm at the top, and then to get that 7 note, you swap to the other form of C6.
Exactly. Yeah, we're just bouncing between two shapes, and look, there's absolutely no. The thing about these things is once you get the ideas, you can do your own version. Like there'd be no reason why you couldn't start with the higher one and go to like
Yes.
swap them round. That's the idea. They're not all this stuff's. It's not one trick ponies. It's stuff that you're meant to.
Okay, so just
Macar-
to be clear,
Sorry.
you're now playing the bottom version, right? The
Yeah,
Mac
well,
the Knife, right? Can
Yeah,
we
like
slow
the
it
beginning
down,
is just
please?
really the chords. This is
Yeah, can you slow it down then for folks? Because just slow it down.
yeah for the. Should we just do those first four bars again?
I actually knew the whole time what we were doing. I just wanted to play the dumbest student, so nobody actually.
That's good. No, it's really good to point things out because I'm just looking at it and just assuming everyone's assuming things. So good, just pull me up.
Ruth, are you about to say something? She's going to type a private.
She said. Okay, so we'll go just the first 4 bars of Mac the Knife, which is halfway down the page, and get as many fingers onto as many of the chords as you can. But really, you know, the rhythm's just as important because it's kind of what we call a comping or like a vamp kind of thing. If you got a walking bass and you do this thing over the top of it, it'll sound great. 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 4, 1. Whoops. Back to C. D minor again. Oh, sorry. I went on. Sorry. All right, let's just do C6. Let's just do C for a little bit. So we'll just loop C, 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 C. 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And again. Up we go. 4, 1. 4, 1. Great. I can see lots of fingers moving up the neck, and that looks to me like good. Should we try the D minor 7 to the D minor 9? And look, this is good. Like we don't even have to get all through all this today. I think once we've done a few bars, you'll understand it enough to spend hours practicing it at home over the week. So we'll just try the D minor to the D minor 9.
So Sam, we could play this over the top of that very first clip you did where you were playing the whole song.
Yeah, and
Just
but
so
also
practice that rhythm.
Exactly, yeah, and but also you could play it on Autumn Leaves or the blues ones, you know. Or on Autumn Leaves. Like you have to make some adjustments for the chords, but that's the thing is all these things are just they're not kind of one-trick ponies. They're interminglable. I'm not sure what the word is. There's something, yeah. Use them everywhere, yeah. But sorry, yeah, okay. So let's go to the D minor 7, D minor 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And again. 4, 1. 4, 1. So that's so it kind of just continues on exactly in that vein, but with different shapes. But
Yeah. Hey, Sam,
yeah.
could you lower your camera a bit or lift your uke so you can see what your right hand is doing while you're doing that?
Oh yeah.
So you're just doing down thumb?
I just
or
kind
up?
of doing. I've started doing it a bit with my thumb for these classes.
Sam, maybe you want to zoom the camera back out because we probably don't need to see your
that quite as much of me as that
your
close
fretting
up.
as much.
Yeah, just like if the thumb's the kind of mellowest, if you needed a bit more rasp, you know, if you're really fanging any other people competing with you.
Just talk, Alistair.
Oh, I get the D minor 7, D minor 9, but
Yeah.
the C6, I feel like I've learned some other C6s that do that.
Yeah.
Now going into other things. If I go,
Yeah, use another one.
5, 4, 3, then go up to
Yeah, well,
0987.
That's
It
the,
seems
like
to me
I
that
noticed you did that in your
I'm not doing
your
this.
solo
Yeah, I'm
on,
not.
on Facebook. But no, that's completely the idea. Like these are just shapes that I chose.
The easy
The
way.
ones that I use a lot. And as I said, I kind of picked them because they all got the same. They've all got that same top note, which I quite like. But I mean, there's another. You could do C6 like that. 2, 4, 5, 3, 4. Sorry, 5, 4, 5, 3. If you didn't like, but there's nothing right. So yeah, these actual shapes are just ideas, and they're just one way of one shape that you can use. So I reckon we should move on from these in a minute, but just in closing to finish these. So yeah, exactly. You change the shapes as much as you like, and then but also within these rhythms you can just kind of get things, and you can do things like that, or just little variations just go a long way to kind of changing it. But yeah, I reckon we move on from that. But we've kind of sown the seed of that idea. But yeah, it's great behind singing or solos or.
So you're talking. I mean, we could do a whole course on comping by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
But to bring it back to improvising, again, it's really fantastic to know your inversions and that you can do some sort of soloing using the notes out of your inversions as the basis of, as long as you're changing the patterns of the scale tones that you're using, or you're changing the patterns of the sympathetic notes that go with the chord shape that you're doing. The
Can I ask
inversion.
a timing question?
Oh yeah, sorry, go yeah.
That pattern you're playing there, that your first bar is actually the second bar in the song, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's minus the pickup. Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't got the pickup there yet. So
and it starts on that second bar.
Yeah. And just on what Mark said, I mean, if you're doing a more single note solo, but every now and then you put one of those. You just put in things like that. It's just a great little variety. And I mean, everyone's been doing that to a certain extent in their videos. So this is just, a little building on that thing where you mix up single notes, little chord bits. But yeah, anyway,
you left those chord bits in your backing track.
Oh yeah, well that's kind of
that was terrific.
Just to get the idea, that's most of the time that's what I do all the time is those kind of things, because you don't solo all the time, but always kind of just having fun playing nice, trying to find nice rhythm things with the chords.
It is what I love about your soloing, though, Sam, is your harmonized soloing, which is just a lot of chords, really.
Well, yeah, most of it is not much of it is kind of single note, scaly kind of stuff.
And that's a particular style of yours. There's a really nice video of, I think it's Oscar Peterson, describing and playing on some
Piano.
Describing and playing all the different styles that people do, like stride, or the style that George Shearing does, or the style that so-and-so does. And so I guess different guitarists and players, ukulele players, have different sort of repertoire of skills that they enjoy putting on display all the time.
I guess for me, I think it's a real strength of that ukulele is that even more than the guitar is with the guitar you have to choose whether you're going low notes or you don't play all 6 strings, and it's there's more things to think about or worry about with the ukulele. 4-note chords, they just kind of sound great everywhere.
That's a really nice positive thing to say about the ukulele.
Well, it is. It's I kind of think that kind of shredding single notes is I mean, it works sometimes on the ukulele, but to me, it's not. That's kind of works better on a guitar or a violin in a way. Like, you know, there's always exceptions, but just generally, I reckon that the ukulele is great with that mix of chords, some single notes, and you know, bits of picking and other things. But definitely chords. Yeah,
that is what James Hill sort of emphasizes as well. Is that it? You know, you've basically got chord and melody all well within reach on the ukulele.
Yeah, more so than guitar. It kind of just the transition is smoother. You know, when you play a big chord on a guitar, it's like then a single note's a very different sound. But ukulele, you can kind of just. That's the idea with these things is like they're between straight rhythm and single notes. It's all that kind of middle ground.
Yep.
Hey, can I move us on, guys?
Yeah, move on. Yeah.
I think this is this the next place you want to go, Sam?
Yeah, look, Jane's prepared a brilliant sheet. This was Jane's homework yesterday, wasn't it?
No, today, wasn't it?
Today. And
Yesterday, today, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you to Beck for your help, assistance, Beck. Beck's contribution is.
I told you, don't mention me until we see if it falls flat.
No. Mark's already impressed. So,
Easily so.
yeah, true. So
Anything to do with you, Beck, I'm impressed.
So I'll let you talk to it, Sam. Okay.
Okay, so Jane's brilliant homework is, because we were talking about 2-5-1s, and we kind of last week with the diminished scale, we kind of started getting into that jazzy area of, you know, we've done the bits where you're pinching from the melody and riffs. Now we're kind of getting into kind of more the jazz land of, you know, little scaly kind of things, and so 2-5-1s they're the kind of backbone of so many jazz songs, and so it's really important, or it's really good to know them all over the neck and in every key. It's a bit torturous, but we're going to have a go, aren't we? So, and there's so many chord variations. So Jane's just come up with, I think there's only about 5 or 6 shapes in total. 4 shapes. So we're recycling a lot, and but so just taking a 2-5-1, which is, you know, the 2 minor, G7 or G9. We're kind of, you know, mixing them up. And then C6, you know, it could be C, C6 or C major, but C6 kind of suits this kind of style. So we're going to take them round, learn them kind of round the cycle, which means you're going up a fourth each time. So we're changing key, but not just moving up a fret. So we end up doing them in every key after, 12 rotations.
Okay, this is where my powers really come in strongly here. I'm not sure what's happening. So, like, yeah, I understand. First, has everybody got have you got this sheet?
You have to have this sheet, guys.
Diane, you got it? The 2-5-1, the one that says 2.
It says chords
Ukulele.
and scales 2-5-1.
Ukulele chord
No,
progression.
it doesn't say that. It says scale and chords and scale 2-5-1. Right? And it's 2 pages.
Why doesn't it say this?
Because
This is the
because
teacher
I
version.
don't. Yeah. No. I don't need the word ukulele in the title.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So, I understand the 2-5-1 thing.
Kathy, what's the matter?
Yep.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, mine says ukulele 2-5-1 chord progression.
I'm sorry. What I mean is that the file itself is called chord
the
scale.
label.
Oh, yeah.
2-5-1.
The label on the website.
Yeah, the label on the website.
Yes. So, I understand the 2-5-1. So, in the key of C, which is here, the C is the 1, D minor is the 2, and the 5 is the G. And so you're talking about these are like ending chords.
Well, look, they kind of appear everywhere.
Okay.
In the middle, it's kind of just a cadence, it's
okay. They're
a
common,
5-1 cadence, yeah.
very common chord progressions.
Is it simply the actual circular progression?
it moves up in fourths, Chris. So yes, it
So
goes.
it's just a straight circular progression like the Hawaiians use in a lot of their songs for their.
Oh,
But they do it in a major. They do it in a major instead for some.
Yeah.
godforsaken
Yeah,
reason.
but still the same concept.
The thing,
guess
I mean, it's really just an old-fashioned cadence, but you're having the 2 minor chord in it as well as
So I understand that, but what's with the C scale tones? Are they what are those got to do with this?
Well, like this is tell me if I'm wrong, Jane, but this is a multifaceted document,
thank you.
and I suggest we just look at the left side first.
Yes.
You can actually think of it as 3 different.
There's 3 different things on each
But
line.
yeah, and it's really good. But
Okay, great. Well, that's
for the first time through, I think we only need to be concerned with the. So all we're trying to do here is just learn perhaps some extra chord shapes or shapes you already know, but know where they are, know where the 2-5-1s are in different places around the neck. Because, like when you're playing a song, if you've got a few different options of where you're going to do D minor, you don't want to always be stuck with there's D minor. I have to do it down there when it would. All the other chords are up the neck somewhere, so it's about learning shapes up the neck. It's about Cagford.
okay.
So what we're going to do, Sam, is just read down the left column. We go D minor, G9, C6. Then we do
chord
G
shapes.
minor, C7, F6. Is
Yeah.
that what we're doing?
Yeah,
Shall
No,
we
I
play?
I reckon you could play and like we could just go like really slow, like
2 bars of the C. Oh yeah, okay.
something like that. Just a really dreamy. It's not a song, so it doesn't kind of have to be in tempo. So
Oh okay.
um,
Okay, we'll just follow you then.
is it okay? So it'll be like basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, that kind of thing, is it?
Okay.
And it doesn't really matter if it's more about getting our left hand rocking. All right, wish me luck. I'm going to have to do a page turn down halfway through.
Yeah. Sorry about that. The original document I gave you was 1 page, so.
And there is a backing track for this too, so you can really torture yourself through the week. All right, let's have a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I reckon I should do a bar on each chord. Is that so? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Say it again.
2 bars on the final one.
Okay, yeah, to give us time to get ready. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So bar on each, 2 bars on the last one, and then we move.
Which
Okay.
which also tells you that it's the one.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, you're landing on it then. Yeah.
All right. Let's call this chord torture take 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Let's do that one again. 4. And now to the G minor. 2, 3, 4, 6, F6. F6 again. Ready for C minor. F9. B flat 6. 2, 3, 4. F minor 7. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I saw your 10. That's the bar number. That's the bar. Sorry. Did anyone else do anything? Or was it only me? Sorry, we'll go F minor again. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. B flat. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. B flat minor 7. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. A flat 6. E flat minor 7, 2, 3, A flat 9, and changing pages, A flat minor. Sorry, I just got to check. Anyone else need to do a page tune? That's right. 1, 2, A flat minor 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. G flat 6. 2, 3, 4. 2, C sharp minor 7. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. B flat 6. B6, sorry. F sharp minor 7. 2, 3, 4. E6. 2, 3, 4. B minor 7. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. A6. 1, 2. E minor 7 coming up. 2, 3, 4. And the last one, A minor 7, which we've already done in Mac Knife, and G6 to finish. Wow, that was.
Did anybody did you recognize the repeating patterns that were happening? Where were the repeating patterns? So where's number 1, the D minor 7 to G9 to C6? Where's that again? Isn't it
On the C, starting on the C minor 7.
C minor 7 and then the B flat minor 7?
Not quite on the B flat minor 7.
Oh, is it? Right.
Yeah, there's a few variations, but not a lot.
Right. Okay.
You're right. It repeats almost every second time, and I did that on purpose so that I didn't change shapes, so that you could just you just take it up and down. You know, you take that